Hi, everyone. Salma Morningstar here, and I shared a little bit earlier. Hi, Justin. And I shared a little bit about my Labyrinth of Time that I was going to scope about today, and I'm just trying to get this set up here so that you can see it, and I'll share a little bit about it while I adjust this here. So I have been working with the Labyrinth meditation process for quite some time now, and with artwork as well. So creating labyrinths for the meditation of creating them, and as well for the end product of having them as a meditation piece, is a very powerful way to manifest abundance in our lives, to cultivate inner peace and self-awareness. The labyrinth has been used across many cultures and many religions as a powerful meditation tool. I don't know if any of you have ever walked any labyrinths. They're all often, you often find labyrinths at churches, in cemeteries, and they're wonderful for meditating upon in childbirth. They are really great for helping us through times of change, loss, transformation, new growth. So this labyrinth is something that I've been working on for a while. I love to make multimedia artwork. It's a wonderful meditation for me. I love collecting things that have sort of passed their time. As you see here, I have doilies, I have bits of an old calendar that was, hi there, tell me your name again. This is Real Love. I'm just learning everybody's name here. Good day. And so I have bits of an old, oh, that's Alex. That's right. Hi, Alex. We're back with my labyrinth again. How's the dog doing? Are you still with Missy? Anyway, I was gonna, oh, great. I'll look for that. Thank you for connecting me up there. Yeah, so I just wanted to share more about my labyrinth here today. I'm glad she felt supported by my post last night. I wanted to share more about it today, the labyrinth thing, so more people could benefit from that, and particularly in creating a labyrinth of your own for meditation. So as you can see, I've created an artistic collage, if you will, three-dimensional. I have pieces of lace. I go to the thrift stores and go through the craft supplies and find, people's sewing baskets that have overflowed or that they are emptying out, donating to the thrift store, and then I get the supplies, the scraps of their projects that they finished and had extra or never finished and just moved on. And then little clock parts. I love these. I found these at a little curio shop that the owner had gone to an estate sale where an old tinkerer had passed away, and she found these in the garage, and they were just going to get all thrown away. He had been tinkering and fixing old clocks and watches. These are really fun. I make jewelry with these as well. So I incorporated this in this piece as a meditation on time and how we relate to time. And for me, I get so inspired by lots of different things and want to move in all different directions. And the labyrinth is a wonderful meditation for me because it has one entrance and you travel down the path. And it's not a boring path. There are lots of twists and turns. You don't go directly in a straight line to the center. But you can, yes, by feelings and moments, you can have many different feelings and moments along the path, but it's still one path. You're going to the center. And you can trace the labyrinth and stay guided by the walls of the labyrinth, and it really helps to calm and center me to trace the labyrinth. And walk a labyrinth. I have a labyrinth out in my garden as well. I did my first scope was a walk through the labyrinth garden. And it's very calming and centering to realize that we're really all walking that same path. And there's no way to get lost in it, although we might feel lost from time to time. Thank you for the hearts. I welcome your hearts and questions and comments. Thank you so much. You've not seen a small version of the labyrinth. Yes, I've made several of them. You can even get even smaller ones, finger labyrinths, and people have them on jewelry in small form. It's wonderful to have that to gaze at. You can have the labyrinth actually, when you trace it either with your finger or your eyes or walking it, it actually shifts your brainwave frequencies. And I did another scope today. Yeah, so you can make more textural labyrinths. Some people make them with clay, finger labyrinths with clay, so that there's a groove that you can follow around with the finger, or carved in wood. And those are wonderful. And so the brainwave frequencies, it's important to shift out of the brainwave frequencies regularly to access different dimensions of possibility and inspiration for us. And so the labyrinth, and creating your own labyrinth, whether on paper or sculpturally with collage, however you'd like. I've done a lot of collage here to decorate my labyrinth. It is a wonderful practice to really allow yourself to get into that creative mode, to get out of the logical A to B to C thinking. Oh, good, Alex. I'm glad you're exploring other dimensions. And the labyrinth helps you to be able to, the meditation on the labyrinth helps you be able to explore those other brainwave frequencies that aren't very logical and don't always make sense, but you're still being guided through a path. So it helps you to remember that you're guided even when you feel lost or disoriented or outside of your known. And so it's a wonderful practice. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. The thing that came up for me about creating this labyrinth was that I got the big inspiration. It's very appropriate that these are the lessons that are coming out of this particular labyrinth for me, because they show, oh good, I'm glad you're having a positive effect on others. That's wonderful. So my labyrinth, the creation process, and I want to share this so that you can notice for yourself if you do embark upon creating something like this for yourself, is that the challenges that you're faced with in the creation process can give you lots of information about who you are and how you go about things and what you might need to practice to strengthen. So for me, I am great with the big inspiration. I had this, this is an old card table, and it's beautiful red felt and the texture of it and the octagon and all of that. I'm like, oh yes, I got to do this. And then I had the lace and the texture of the lace, and I had thumbtacks, and I'm just tacking the lace in and making the design. I got the seat, I put the doilies on, I got the crystals out, I got the clock parts out. I got it all arranged. And then I'm having to go back and pin it all down more securely with screws. I've got the screwing each corner, and you can see there's a lot of corners all the way around the labyrinth, layer after layer. I'm going to have to count how many screws, but hundreds of screws to pin each corner of each piece of lace down. And then I'm going to go back and glue down the parts that aren't fully secured and glue on each crystal in its spot to make it so that we can hang it on the wall. So, reinforce the change to the actual path. Exactly. So these kinds of practices where, it's one thing to have this idea and a vision. This is my thing. I can recognize this in my patterns in life. It's one thing to have this vision. I'm a Sagittarius and I can see the end place where we're going to get to, right? I could lay it all out for you very clearly. And then taking the focused steps along the path, along the way, and really, it is another to act on it and create it for utility. Exactly. Because if I didn't tack it down solidly and we hung it up on the wall, everything would just fall off. So can I create what I'm envisioning by taking the necessary steps to really ground it in this dimension where I'm living, in this body? So how do I nourish my body to keep it healthy, to live out the vision that I'm being called to create? How do I strengthen myself to be able to do what needs to be done along that path? And how do I keep focused on the tasks that I'm being called to do, even if they go beyond that initial infatuation in the beginning with the creativity, and they're still requiring attention and work. Like this one, I got the initial thing, and when I saw how much work it was going to be to screw in each corner, each thing, it was like, oh, and it sat here for months without me touching it. Yes, I'm still in Northern California. And so thanks for your questions and comments, Alex. It's always a joy to have you here with me. And so I had to it really does ground what I'm creating. And this piece for me is about my relationship to time, shifting into a more expansive thing so that I don't feel limited by time, and that I can relax and just focus on each step of the way and really enjoy what's happening right now and be present with what's right now. Oh, I'm glad my voice talks to your spirit. I try to speak from my spirit, so it's from my spirit to yours. Alex, thank you for sharing that. So that's what this art piece is about, and I might share another scope soon to share with you how, or I could do it now if you guys want to come with me. I have a book somewhere that shows labyrinth seeds. The way you create seeds is by, you draw the seed of a labyrinth. That's the way you create labyrinths. And I have this lovely book, although I'm going to have to probably show it to you on another scope. The Jim Carrey speech, Jim Carrey's graduation speech. Oh yes, I think I've seen that speech numerous times actually. Thank you for calling my attention to it. He's very inspirational. I think that's the one where he talks about you can fail at anything that you do, so you may as well try what you love. That's right, living through love, not fear. He talked about in that speech, he talked about his dad working for his whole life for security, doing something he didn't really love, and then losing everything towards the end of his life after he'd spent all those years. And that's such a common thing. I've worked with numerous clients that go through a great feeling of loss, that they spent their whole life trying to create this security. Our whole society, our whole American culture is going through a crisis around that right now. And it's true, the most valuable currency we have is being kind to others. Thank you so much, Alex, for that input. It's true. And so recalibrating, remembering that right now is all we really have. And so creating what we love right now, being present with what's lovable about us right now, how we can be unconditionally loving to ourselves and kind to ourselves and others right now, and live fully right now, because doing things for the illusion of security is just that. It's just investing in an illusion. And so these are some of the things that this Labyrinth of Time meditation is helping me to consider and to really secure in place for myself. And really, I'm so glad Missy is with us today too. Thank you, Alex. It's delightful to have you. I had some other scopes today, but you made it back onto the labyrinth one. You must be really drawn to this labyrinth. And so she can barely walk. Oh, really? And my voice gives her the ability to get up. Amazing. Yeah, I've worked with animals quite a bit, actually. So, let me know if you want to talk more about, or maybe we can do a two-way video. I'd love to see Missy, and if there's any way I can support you and she in her process, I'd be available to do that. So anyway, here we are, and thank you so much and for joining me here. And I have a few more screws to put into this labyrinth, a few more strings to tie before I can start the gluing process for things that need to be glued. So I think I'm gonna carry on with that, and I'll scope some more in the future about other creative projects like that. Good. I look forward to seeing you again in other scopes, and I'll show you when it gets up on the wall what that looks like. And I'm fantasizing about actually putting it on the mechanics of a clock. It would have to be quite strong so that it actually turns slowly when it's on the wall.